the amount of time that Jermall has been out and what he's been dealing with, I think it's a good comeback fight for him to just get his feet wet, get active. He's going to be going against somebody who, of course, Jose Benavidez is. I mean, he hasn't been the same for a while. But he, if anything, he's going to at least be there to try. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to just lay down for you. So I do think it is a good fight to get Charlo back on track and getting him serious again to see what he wants to do with his career and his life. So I think Jermall will likely, if he's serious and gets in that ring, he should be able to stop Jose Benavidez. So that's what I see.
Yeah, I like the fight for Charlo more than I do Benavidez. You know, Benavidez is probably really still a welterweight, unless you watching Creed 3, in which case he a heavyweight somehow. I don't know how they pull it up or whatever. He's probably still a welterweight, but he keeps moving up in weight classes, and not much of his skill is going with him. And so for Charlo, it could be a good showcase fight against someone with a name who won't pose much of a physical threat. Because Benavidez, he really was his best at the lower weight classes, even below 147. I believe he had that only one fight at 54 against Danny Garcia, long layoff, and now he's having this. And so for both fighters, it'll be a long layoff. But in terms of skill set, in terms of dimensions, it heavily favors Charlo. And there may be better fights out there, but in terms of just wanting to see him back in the ring, and in terms of Benavidez being on the same card as his brother, it makes a lot of sense. I just don't like it for Benavidez.
Yeah, I think it's a decent fight. I thought, coming off a 2.5-year layoff that, Amal would probably, fight a lower caliber opponent. But, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it at the end of the day. I think Maul has more to prove. He's coming off a long layoff. He's coming off a lot of the personal issues, the mental health issues. So I think once that bell rings, he's just gonna let it all out. You know what I mean? So I think Maul really wants to make a statement. He was just recently smacked in public by Caleb Plant. So I can see him trying to get Benavidez out the way and trying to make that fight happen with Plant down the road. But yeah, it's a good fight, and it's definitely a good fight. On the undercard, of a huge pay-per-view. So I'm probably going to lean for Maul by a decision or a late stoppage.
Man, this is useless to me. A useless fight. You got a dude he's facing at 154. I mean, he looked bigger than Danny Garcia, but Danny Garcia is also somebody who came from 140 to 147, then was fighting at 154. So what is he? I'm sure the fight is not at 160 because Maul has been off 2.5 years. So it's going to be closer to 168. That's going to be crazy for him to be facing Jose Benavidez, who, to me, when he looks good is because of the fact that he's bigger than the guys that he's facing, so he has that advantage. I can't see him looking good against somebody that's bigger than him, stronger than him, more power. It's not going to be able to handle it. And I heard some people say, well, he fought against Montiel, and Montiel was cracked. Well, Montiel has some power, at the very least. And if you take somebody like that for granted, and that could be, problematic. Benavidez doesn't have that type of power, to impact him like that. So from the standpoint of just getting some rounds in, getting back into the ring, that sort of thing, then it's good for him. But I still kind of think that it's useless because then what's next? Is he going to take another guy, like a little step up, and then go for like an Adames, or if he's going to go to 168, a Plant? I just don't think it has to be at least a 3-fight process for him to be able to be prepared for a Plant. You can't fight no Jose Benavidez and get ready for Caleb Plant. And Caleb Plant is licking his chops at you because you curd out to him. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. You know, I don't like the fight. It's just gonna be something I might end up. I'm not a smoker. I'm just saying it's a smoke break type fight. You know what I'm saying? I come back, you let me know who won the fight. This ain't it, bro. All right,
you know who's gonna win the fight.
Hmm?
You were like, let me know who won the fight. No, you come back and be like, oh, so what round did it end? When did Maul win?
Yeah, man. Like I don't want to see this. It's way too many guys that he could be facing that are legitimate, like guys that, at least at that weight, who would be considered like a gatekeeper, who you should still be able to handle, but you know, it's like a low risk. You understand what I'm saying? As far as like them being able to beat you, but get you some rounds in, they might be tough enough to take you all 12. You know, that sort of thing where you get something out of it. I just don't see him.
Like who? Like a Terrell Goucher or something?
I can see it. Terrell Goucher might be a little bit too much right now. You know what I mean? Because he possesses some quickness. But somebody like the dudes he was facing before, like the Bryan Adams type dudes, the Hugo Centenos, but he might have already faced all those guys. So he don't even have any of them left. You know? But we'll see. What do you think about this? I saw this headline on Boxing News 24. They were saying that Jelly John, he looked too dangerous now, and that he might be the new Luis Ortiz, that the risk outweighs the reward. A lot of guys don't really want to face him. They might try to, you know, box him out and just let him age himself out. You see that happening to old Jelly?
No. Is it a new Luis Ortiz? I'm like, in what way? Of course, Jelly John.
Y'all subscribe to the Last Ones at the Bar Boxing channel, man. We got some boxing fans out there.
Last Ones at the Bar.